Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Do you all understand pressure, financial pressure? So, for pricing, you have various pressures, either pushing a price up or pushing a price down. I need you to understand that there are people in this world, in this country, who are so against Trump that they are willing to lose you as a customer in their store just to keep the prices up. What do I mean? So, the whole idea of the prices going up and inflation happening, number one, was oil prices. We're literally an oil-based economy, whereby if you have to transport everything, and the biggest expense about that isn't buying the truck, it's paying for the gas, because the truck is basically cleared by this time. You know, the truck is 10 years old, 20 years old. The ship, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. Airplane, same thing. The price of oil, and conversely, diesel, going up and up and up, and then everybody who has to ship that, it goes from the ship to the train to the truck, and then to the smaller truck, and then to the trailer or something like that, right? It goes through several hands, and it all takes gas to transport the good, the item, to the actual store shelf, right? So all of those people who have to pay more money because gas prices went up are going to charge more for their leg of the run, right? It's a relay race. So now what happens when, and that's just one pressure, right? So gasoline prices push the prices up because people were paying or having to pay stuff. What happens when gas prices go down? Some states are showing evidence, people are showing evidence, $2 gas. $2 gas. And gas prices are pretty much honest, because if you have a city where gas prices are $4 and there's one gas station where the prices are $2, everybody in the city is going to rush over to the gas station that is charging only $2 a gallon, right? So gas prices are pretty honest, even from corner to corner, even a penny difference. Oh, they lowered their price a penny. We got to lower our prices by a penny. They don't make their money on the gas. They make their money by you stopping at the store to get the gas and then coming into the store and then, oh, well, I should get a honey bun. Oh, I should get a Slurpee, right? That's the whole thinking of the gas station, at least in modern times. I don't know what it was before. Before, I don't think you got out of your car because 20 men would come out and clean your car, change your oil, fill up the gas, polish your windshield, the whole 9 yards. So we have actual proof that some places have $2 gas, $2 a gallon gas. So it should be that is pressure for the prices to go down, because that means everybody in the relay is charging less. But for some reason, prices aren't going down. Why are prices not going down? Because that, I just said, that is just one aspect, one of the pressures of prices, right? Gasoline. It's a big pressure, but that's just one. And what did I say? There are people who are willing to lose you as a customer to keep the prices high. How do I know this? They've said it, because I listen to different channels. And I don't mean YouTube channels. I mean actual public statements sent out by companies, corporations, CEOs. They're so anti-Trump, which is crazy because the stock market is booming. The stock market seems to be completely out of hand with Main Street. So Wall Street is completely out of hand with Main Street. It should be that they should lag behind each other a few days, right? Like if Wall Street is doing great, Main Street should, within a couple of weeks do great. It's been a couple of weeks and we don't have the prices going down. Well, why aren't the prices going down? They're trying to make Trump look bad. That's it. Another thing, it seems like jobs are picking up. And what that means is more people are getting jobs. And supposedly we are at full employment, which means there's only 4% unemployment. You need always 2% unemployment in a country because people are changing jobs, people are retiring, and people are coming on board. So 2% unemployment is necessary for a country to function properly, right? I have moved across town. I'm going to need a different job, right? Not everybody can be a millionaire. Not everybody can own their own business. I'm telling you, you should, but anyway, right? So there are people who work at McDonald's. That's what I'm getting at. Those people and all of those people in that same sort of hourly job, everyone has to do stuff like move around. We no longer have an economy where people work for 50 years, right? And get a retirement from the company. Those days are completely over. So the modern economy, 2% of people have to be unemployed for it to function properly. And it's not 2% unemployed. It is a cyclical, like 2% this week, 2% next week, 2%. And those are completely different people. So at 4% unemployment, that is considered full employment. That means that everybody basically should have a job. These are the people who are then counting men who are doing side gigs, the gig economy. So they're including the gig economy. That is your Ubers, your Lyft, your Uber Eats, your DoorDash, all of that stuff. All of that is included. When they do the sky is falling, and it's mostly Democrats who say stuff like that, they do not include gig economy at all. They don't include DoorDash, Uber, handyman, jobs that typically get paid in cash. Maybe your pool cleaner. I don't have a pool, but I'm just guessing that you'd probably pay your landscaper or your pool guy in cash. They don't have to declare that. So, and also they don't have to declare, their workers to have this is why you have illegal workers doing a lot of those jobs, because they don't have to declare anything. But Democrats don't include them when they say 10 million men are not working. If 10 million men were not working, we would see it. In the United States, 10 million men not working is something like 0.5%. Is it 0.5%? Yeah, 0.5%. No, it's less than that. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the overall population. It's something like, let me get my brain. So, 10 million would be 1/8 of men. You would see them. They'd be just laying on the streets. They'd be like sunbathing in the park. Just thousands of men in every city, just completely. And I don't mean like the homeless population. I mean like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Like 50,000 men would be literally laid in the park sunbathing, assuming white guys, right? For the most part, they count white guys mostly. They don't consider black guys to be unemployed. If they consider black guys to be unemployed, they'd have to revamp the entire system, because black men are the last hired, first fired, and they have a unemployment rate of about double to triple that of everybody else. And then you say, well, that means that the black man isn't doing something. Nope. You got educated, experienced black men who are not hired. Affirmative action never, ever, 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 ever applied to black men. DEI never applied to black men. So you can completely throw that away if you have a Democrat tell you, well, DEI hires black men. No, it does not. Black men are grouped in with white men as far as being hated. In fact, it's black men who were saying, oh, first time when they were like, we hate white men. Okay. All right. Affirmative action never applied to black men. So you can have an overqualified black man unemployed, double the unemployment rate. And what's crazy is the black women, knowing this, because I guess they have double unemployment rate of black women to white women, but knowing this, they still don't support their men. I watched a Kevin Samuels clip, and Kevin Samuels said, okay, so the average The median income of men in the United States is $50,000. You don't want the median income rate of black men is $42,000. I wanted him to go on to the median income rate of black women. It's negative. When you receive public assistance and the government pays your income and pays your bills, that is negative income. And there's so many of them like that it completely drops the black female income rates. So all of the girl bosses that you see talking, all the black, I'm a girl boss, all those chicks, tell them to please go look up the black female income rate. I think it's something like negative 3,000 a year. It's horrendous. So all of the black chicks who are girl boss, who said that they're girl bosses and they're the CEO of this and that and the other, or the president of this and that and the other, your income is completely wiped out when it comes up to the statistics of black women. They're so degenerate. They wipe out your entire existence. But for some reason, black men's income is only 11,000 difference. Considering white men have far more education than black men, how is it possible that they're only $11,000 a year difference? That's because black men hustle and black men create actual businesses. The largest group or the largest business starts controlled by race is black men. Largest. Why is that? Because the unemployment rate of black men is astounding. So any black man with any kind of money says, you know what? Instead of looking for a job, I'm going to create a business. And that's what they have done. Since Obama on, Obama wiped out 50% of black wealth, 60% of black wealth. And that saw the actual boom in business starts among black men. Now, we'll go back to talking about Trump. If your local grocery store, clothing store, home goods, big box store, if the prices have not dropped, the people of that company are trying to just make Trump look bad. It should be that the prices should have dropped something like 50%, because the downward pressure on pricing is in full effect. Full employment, something like 100% drop in the price of gas and oil. It was getting close to $5 a gallon here. I don't know if it's $2 here, but those are pressures, downward pressures. It should be that everything should be affordable. And the home prices, that entire bubble should be bursting soon. I know that Miami is having a whirlwind of a time. And when I mean whirlwind, I mean hurricane gust winds just popping that bubble, because it was outrageous. 3-bedroom home that was selling for $200,000, close to $1 million. That's crazy. And the only thing that changed was the home got older. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a bubble. So that is having a horrendous time. There should be downward pressure on home prices. And if they're not going down and they say, well, there's only so many homes, then you need to take a look at, are builders building homes in your area? If not, why are the builders not building homes? Then the builders say, well, there's all of these rules and regulations to stop us from building new homes. We could wipe out the homeless problem in a year if we were allowed to build homes, because the home prices would drop so low. And home prices should not increase because it is a depreciating product. It goes down in value. Everything in the house ages. It doesn't stop aging. It doesn't all of a sudden become more valuable. The market in real estate should be depreciating year by year. When you declare it on your taxes, you declare it as a depreciating asset, just like your car. It goes down in value. Everybody knows you drive a car off of the lot and it drops something like 30% in price immediately. If you turned around and sold it on the market, it would be 30% low just from driving it off the lot. So it is a depreciating asset, quote unquote asset. It's not an asset. Asset is an appreciating thing, but we just say asset to say thing instead of saying it's a thing. a vehicle, a depreciating vehicle. If you run a business and you have a fleet of cars or a fleet of trucks, you get to declare that on all of your financials as a depreciating asset. Then it's an asset because you're using the car to make money. You're transporting stuff. It's an asset then. Same thing with the building that you're renting or owning as a business. You get to declare that as a depreciating asset. It's an asset because you're making money off it. A single family home is not an asset because it is just depreciating. It does not make money. It's just something that you live in. They have completely flipped everything around because they're so greedy. They want things that are losing value to gain value. They'll just, we're going to declare that it gains value. And it used to be that you bought a home and the home was the thing that made you wealthy. So you get a mortgage on a house and you pay off the mortgage. Now you have a house that's worth $500,000, right? There you go. You have that as your net worth. But they have concocted all these things to tell you that a home value is not, you should not buy a home, that you should rent a home. But the person telling you to rent the home instead of buying it is also saying rent the home, take the difference and invest the difference in the stock market. And the stock market is always appreciating, which is technically true. But how many people know how to invest in the stock market? Almost zero. There is even a thing called a sophisticated investor. That's a person who makes $1 million a year and invests in the stock market. You get to talk to sophisticated investors if you have some sort of financial thing that you want to talk about. You cannot talk to the general public because they're not sophisticated investors. They don't have a proven track record of how to make money. That's you and me. I want to say I was offered to offer you all a credit card and I refused it because I know that most of you are not sophisticated investors. I used to be offered a whole bunch of stuff to offer you all, but I said, no, these are not sophisticated investors and you're not going to get me in trouble. This Haktua girl who hawked the play on words, hawked the cryptocurrency that she it's not Bitcoin, it's a cryptocurrency that she was promoting that immediately failed. Yeah, so she's financially in trouble. She's on the hook. She could go to jail. I'm not going to let that happen to me. So no, I don't offer you all anything. Nothing financial. I do have a book on my Patreon, patreon.com/Shakaama, that tells you how to secure all of your assets as a man so that when the woman tries to divorce you, that she gets absolutely nothing, and there's absolutely nothing that the courts can do. And this is not a prenup. This is none of that stuff. It's not putting it in the name of your mom. Is none of that stuff, because your mom could screw you over too. They often do. So if your local store is not lowering its prices, I would ask them I would go in and speak to the manager. I say, I know that you're paying less for everything. And if they say something like tariffs, they have already purchased, a lot of businesses have already purchased all of their goods for the entire year. It's sitting in a warehouse somewhere. Even the fruits and vegetables that you eat, it's sitting in a warehouse somewhere, green. And when it ripens or looks ripe, they take it out and bring it to the store. I know for a fact you've already purchased all of your stuff. Tariffs has nothing to do with this because they're screaming tariffs now, and the tariffs haven't even properly kicked in, right? So talk to the manager, be like, I know for a fact that all of your stuff is actually cost less. All of the gas pricing, all of the transportation price, all of the middlemen that you have to pay for, they're all charging you less, but you're not charging us less. What's the deal? Instead of your store, I should stop at some other store, right? I should spend the 40 cents on actually, it's not 40 cents anymore. Now it's like down to 10 cents in gas to go to the other store because gas prices have gone down. But for some reason, your prices have not gone down. This is all to make Trump look bad. You need to confront these people in a professional way, like actually professional. I'm not talking about going out and, what are all the Democrats doing? Protesting? No, I mean actually talk. Be like, hey, what's the deal? What are you doing? And then maybe a couple of honest managers will say, corporate is telling us don't lower the prices. Then you make sure you record that and then send it to the Shakaama live show. Thank y'all for watching.